because one, I grew up in the inner city, from Maxfield Avenue, live in Arnett Gardens, sleep on the ground for many years, go to school without lunch money.
Sometimes people have the skills, but they're afraid to ask for money.
A lot of the mistake people make is they start without trying to figure out what the objective is, right?
Minimum wage doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room, unfortunately. You can't save your way into wealth.
Hey there, radicals. So today we're at the Grow Your Wealth conference, and on this channel we talk all about wealth, WELLTH. So that's wellness, health, and wealth. I'm going to be asking some questions because there will be some entrepreneurs with a wealth of knowledge. The speakers will be here. So of course we're going to be asking questions about health, wellness, and wealth, because you need to know how to grow your wealth, because when you're broke, it's not nice. It make you feel sick, right? And we're all about the health right here. So stick around. So what advice would you give to somebody who is earning minimum wage, living hand to mouth, but wants to grow their wealth?
The first thing is to try and increase the income. Minimum wage doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room, unfortunately. And so there has to be some level of learning to increase your skill base, and from increasing your skill base you can then find a new opportunity that is not minimum wage dependent. And nowadays you don't need a degree, you really just need knowledge. If you go online, if you have the capacity, the ability, if you go to a parish library, wherever it is that you need to get some knowledge to kind of increase your, job readiness, and more so than even job readiness, your competitiveness in the marketplace. And it doesn't have to be anything super overt. Just find a way to get off minimum wage, because it's the only way to, you can't save your way into wealth, by the way. You have to invest your way into wealth, and clearly that means you need something to invest. And so even if it is to, save your minimum wage capital if you can, and then, start selling something and trying to use that to kind of, increase your earnings, there has to be some level of earnings increase for wealth to begin building.
Well, having a past job in the banking sector, I've seen people come into the credit union and they're having their little partner plans, saving and leveraging the little that they're making, investing it into smaller businesses, starting what is called a nano enterprise, and that might look like frying some chicken and fries at your home. It might look like using your skills to do here. So I want to say, one, tap into your creative skills. They are there. So tap into them and own them, OWN, and hone them, HONE. Sometimes people have the skills, but they're afraid to ask for money. So if people are always coming to ask you to do a particular thing very often, it might mean that this is something that you can charge for. So charge for it. So when you add the little that you're making with your minimum wage, plus what you're making from leveraging your skills and talents, then you can do really well. And with the honing part, the HONE, find someone that can help you to package that skill so you're confident to charge real money for it.
Start with your passion. If you have a passion in something, someone else probably does as well. A lot of the mistake people make is they start without trying to figure out what the objective is, right? But literally everyone in this world has a passion and a skill. You may not realize someone will pay for it, but someone will pay for it, right? So figure out what the passion is and then find a customer, which is the hardest part. But if you're more present, so marketing is really important. If people can find you very easily, you're more likely to find a customer. That's the whole point of marketing, right? So whether you're a maid or a guardsman, maybe you're a really good guardsman, you take pride in your work, start video yourself. There's actually a guy on TikTok who goes around and just cleans people's yards and videos it. Yeah, hundreds of thousands of views on a regular basis, and he's able to capitalize and create a business out of that. So whatever passion or skill you have, just present it to the world, and people will come and pay you to do it.
I can relate because one, I grew up in the inner city, from Maxfield Avenue, live in Arnett Gardens, sleep on the ground for many years, go to school without lunch money. So I understand poverty, and just two things that I'm thinking that have worked for me to get me to where I'm. One is to be willing to step out of my current environment and step into uncomfortable places. So there were places that conferences like where we're at right now, to the average person, I shouldn't be here, I can't afford to be here. But the reality is we find money to go party, we find money to do what we want. So I do feel like we have to be intentional about coming out of spaces and getting into spaces that makes us uncomfortable. people, what you find is that your mindset elevates. And as your mindset elevates, you start to see more for yourself. The second thing that came to mind was exposure. The reality is most of my exposure came from books, which is why I'm a book lady. Because reading books gave me a sense of new purpose that I did not have to stay in Arnett Gardens for the rest of my life. And I had to be willing to read and, and apply a lot of these things. So like, when I think about, just applying for jobs even that I didn't feel qualified for, it's exposure. Reading books for me have worked wonders and to get me to where I am. So I think those two would definitely help somebody to move from poverty, which I've experienced, to walking into.
So there you have it. I hope you have learned something, and if you have, leave a comment and let me know what you learned. Remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. Until next time, raw love, my radicals.